As a ranger, which type of creatures do you excel at hunting?
Huh?
You have a favored enemy type, against which you receive bonuses to detect their presence, to follow their tracks, to determine their truthfulness, etc.
You get +2 damage against them.
Oh, my damage bonus is against aberrations.
But you also get bonuses to all sorts of skill checks relating to them, tracking them and stuff, right?
No.
Mostly +2 damage.
Yeah, +2 damage.
Game night is the best night of the week. When your friends show up, the snacks come out, and it's time to slay some monsters. But it can also become a source of stress and conflict. Or, in the worst case, it can turn into the Nerf Wars. Please click like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Okay, Azeron, please refresh our memories of what happened last week. Well, let's see. We fought Naga in that pit. Well, we mostly didn't fight them so much as tried to run away while they tried to stop us. Fairly effectively. They kept fireballing the line I was trying to climb. Balkoth must have lost 150 feet of rope. Balkoth glares at Azeron and shakes his head, as though he is making a grave error in his account. Okay, he lost about 100 feet of rope.
60.
Right. Anyway, after Varian and I finally made it out of that hole, we fought some crap guards plus a mind flayer. But we managed to kill it because Omid had a mind flayer slaying arrow.
It wasn't that specific. It works on any aberration, including mind flayers.
Omid, when did you buy that again?
Level 7. At the time, I thought it might come in handy. This is the difference between a normal PC and Bruce Wayne. Well, at this point, we're already level 11, so I figured I should use it soon. That DC 20 saving throw won't be good much longer.
DC 20 is pretty good for an item saving throw. Yeah, not like that Third Eye Dominate in the Psionics book that costs 120,000 gold to cast a spell with a DC 15 save once a day. For 120,000, you can buy a Solar's bow that makes whatever kind of slaying arrow you need for every shot you fire. Even then, those DC 20 arrows are usually going to fail, since you must be level 15 plus to have that much loot.
That bow's not so bad, actually. It's expensive, but you're still getting a +5 bow as part of the price, and I don't like DC 20 on an item that costs 2,000 gold per shot, but suddenly, it looks pretty good when targets have that small chance to die on every single shot you fire.
Well, a regular +5 bow would only cost 50,000. 50,000 plus the cost of a masterwork composite bow. Yeah, if you even bother to keep track of that. They'd better keep track of that! Well, yeah, but you have to figure, at most, a masterwork bow with a composite rating of 5 or so would only be like 1,000 gold. That's like 2% of the purchase price! Apparently, 2% of the cost of a magic item sounds like a lot to some people, and yet seems trivial to others. Nobody argues with GM on this point, though, and certainly nobody makes any comment or stealthily scribbled changes to their character sheet on whether they had been properly accounting for the mundane cost of such items, or lazily and cheatingly only paying the larger enchantment cost. Alright. Balkoth, could you tell us about your character?
Why? Why every week, man?
It helps to set the tone.
I thought we voted this off the island.
To get everyone into the game.
Something about not swimming back.
Regardless, could you describe your character to us?
I don't know how to say this interestingly. I have 6 levels of fighter, 1 level of ranger, and 4 levels of dwarven defender.
Well, as a ranger, you have prodigious skills in dealing with a particular type of foe. Which type of creatures do you excel at hunting?
Huh?
You have a favored enemy type, against which you receive bonuses to detect their presence, to follow their tracks, to determine their truthfulness, etc.
You get +2 damage against them.
Oh, my damage bonus is against aberrations.
But you also get bonuses to all sorts of skill checks relating to them, tracking them and stuff, right?
No.
Mostly +2 damage.
Yeah, +2 damage.
Because he comes here to smash.
Seriously, this is like being interrogated.
Very much like being interrogated.
Ask the same questions again and again.
The difference is that GM can't stop you from sleeping during the intervening week.
Well, could you tell us then, what is the most powerful foe you ever faced? Don't say city guards. Some players have expressed annoyance at the way GM roleplays guards, but they were certainly not powerful. Anyway, Azeron proceeds to take over and starts listing many of the fights we've gone through over time. The UNT Abomination, the Babao, the Vrock, the Dreadwraith, the Hellwasp Swarm.
Friggin' bug-based immunity to everything. The only one in the entire party who could affect it at all was Varian, and if he died, we were all gone.
Don't forget the Cerebralith and his Mind Flayer buddy on the astral plane, each blowing away D4 charisma every round.
There's a lot more than D4.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that we can be killed by charisma.
You can't technically be killed by charisma loss, only paralyzed.
To die because I'm not fuzzy enough as a Care Bear. It's a useless stat. It should be ignored. Scratch. Gone. Who cares?
A few classes like Sorcerer need it for spell casting and special abilities, but that's all it does. For everyone else, it's borderline useless.
Spellcasting. Ooh, I'm not attractive enough to screw with your mind and drain levels.
Charisma isn't actually your appearance. It represents a poorly defined force of personality.
It's also the ability score for my Use Magic Device skill. Though, with all the nerfs, it would be better to just be a real spellcaster.
Omid, are you looking forward to the death of your character?
Huh.
Omid scoffs.
But you were looking into backups.
You'd have to kill me off first.
Variant makes more backups than you.
I just like making characters.
But he refuses to die! I've been so tempted to whip out a vampire monk on you, but I restrained myself from doing anything so unfair.
Well, we never fought anything weak.
You nerf! Well, only when it's too weak to be worth XP.
And whenever we defeat something, it's always, I was robbed! Omid, change your character again.
I so wanted to hit you with the Horn of Valhalla, Varian.
In D&D, the Horn of Valhalla is a mythical magical item whose call summons multiple barbarians, as seen on pages 55 and 56 of another gaming comic. Though the 3.5 edition Horn summons an even greater number of warriors than the artifact from older game versions.
I'm unlikely to be killed by any number of non-flying, low-level barbarians.
They weren't going to fight you, I was going to drop them on you.
I'm not sure there are rules for that. I mean, do they have to roll to hit, or...?
I don't know, I just drop them all on you in a massive dogpile and have them trip you and yell, "It is inevitable!" But the Horn of Valhalla is too expensive. I don't want to give you guys like 60,000 gold.
You mean 30k, since you only let us sell items for half. And yet, mysteriously, we never find a pawn shop where we can buy at half price.
Besides, I don't want to have to keep track of like 20 barbarians.
Anyway, we decided that we needed to retreat from the dungeon to rest and regain spells. Technically, Balkoth still had all his hit points and didn't cast spells, while Omid, with his extremely limited spellcasting ability, was also fine to keep going. But Azeron had exhausted the majority of his divine spells, meaning he couldn't heal the others much more. And after 4 fights, Varian Seth was also running on fumes, psionically speaking.
So you all head back up the shaft into the temple?
Yes, I figured the resting spot I picked out earlier should be a good hiding place. If our enemies are going to use scrying, they'll find us no matter where we go. However, I figure that if they do not use strong divinations, we should be well hidden for the purpose of any mundane search.
We could just block off the shaft, then nobody would follow us.
Block it with what?
I can use my +2 adamantine axe to cut off a big chunk from the top of the shaft, and drop it down so it blocks the whole thing. They won't get past 3 tons of rock.
Probably not.
They'll actually never come up.
At least not with teleport and dimension door banned.
They aren't banned, they just don't work on this plane of existence. If you go to other planes, you can use them.
With a 3-round casting time.
Anyway, if you block the shaft, how will you get back down there after?
I'll just start from the top and cut through it. I could carve a 3-ton rock in half in like 10 minutes.
Before spiraling into a contentious debate over how much Minecraft a high constitution dwarf can perform and how long it takes using an adamantine weapon, which ignores object hardness, the rest of the party convinced Balkoth to try the spot Varian had picked out, exiting the temple, climbing up onto the roof, and then hiding in a spot in the temple's alien architecture which was hidden from view from any likely avenue of approach. Camping out there, they attempted to rest, and were of course interrupted, because resting without an encounter would make life too easy for the players. It was not, as they expected, the Mind Flayers. Rather, it was an NPC who appeared human, and who was theoretically neutral to the party's endeavors, not necessarily the neutral alignment. This person told us he would not give us trouble as long as we left, and did not re-enter the temple.
Do we care about this place?
I didn't love the swimming pool.
What is our objective here anyway? There are mind flayers, I guess.
Nobody likes mind flayers.
But we saved the pilgrims already.
Saved. In quotation marks.
Yeah, you know what? Nerf this place.
Wait, says the ominous stranger, pointing at Omit. What are you?
I am myself.
Doesn't matter. We accept your offer. We'll just leave this place.
You can leave, but there's a scent of ash on this one. The stench of fiendish blood.
So
the rest of you can leave, but I can't allow the tiefling to roam free.
So they fought that guy. Next time on the Nerf Wars. Please like and subscribe for more Don't Try This at Home antagonistic D&D. And of course, I can't thank my Patreon patrons enough. They're the only reason I can keep making stuff like this, and Sea of Secrets, my fully animated D&D campaign with much better story than this.